All right. I think I got this thing figured out. I think I got this thing figured out. If not, totally disregard it. But what's going on, everybody? It's your man Hänz Nobe, back live streaming by demand this time. So, as a lot of you guys know, if you're following me on Instagram, you know that I put a lot of my content on IG, and I've been doing that for like a little while. Just, just, it just the app that I like using. Excuse me, more than anything. And so, what kind of got me back here to YouTube, believe it or not, were my producer minute videos. And if you guys were around when I took that trip to LA, and I started recording with Jay Daniel, Nico, Shannon Hurley, and Maddie Mars for some sync licensing opportunities, I was doing these, right? So if you're on my Instagram, you slide over to IG, you're gonna start seeing some of these producer minute videos. And I had stopped doing it mainly with two reasons. So May of last year, during the pandemic, Rivers and I, we actually started our own production company called Room 380, and so that took off, and I just got completely busy, and so I just didn't have time to make any content. But then things slowed down a little bit and I had time to, and I just got out of practice. And so, just like, someone who hasn't gone to the gym for a long time, it's kind of hard to get me back in. So I started making these producer minute videos because I want to give people some content. That's it. Just a little bit of like a recap on my day, what I think an artist should do in regards to working with a producer, and that's it. And I've had a few people DM me say they would like to see more of these types of videos where I'm in the studio. So what I'm doing here is kind of two parts. I'm going to do a beat making video, and then I'm going to do a video where we kind of do like a music business study. I'm doing that because if I get a lot of questions from artists in my DMs asking for advice or for direction on what they should be doing, what they shouldn't be doing. A lot of this stuff that sometimes I think is basic information, but all because I believe it's basic information doesn't mean that it is. It just means that in this certain point in my career, it's like, oh yeah, you should do this, you should do X, you should invest this, you should get a publicist. Oh yeah, you can do this without a manager. But it's because I've been in the business for about 14 years and I've been producing for about 8 of them. Right, I was an artist first, so I wanted to create more content on YouTube long form, where you guys can see my process in regards to me making a beat or just making a record. Like right now, I'm working on a country, or it's more like a love ballad, not necessarily a country record. But I'm also producing an audiobook, and then I'm also producing a spoken word album for different artists and clients. And if I can bring you to some of those sessions, I definitely can. But maybe the same thing what we saw with Trigger Don, where when we got to the end of Trigger Don's album, Trigonometry, and the A&R started walking in and started talking business, I couldn't film that because we're discussing, numbers, splits, and everything else, and names start flying around, and you can't pull out the camera at that time. So what I'm going to do is first I want to see if there's any. I wonder if the live video is up now. Let's see. See if I can find it. Because if it is, I'll share it on. It is not. Let's see. Is it? Yes, it is. All right, give me a second here. I don't know if this is even the same one. Again, if it's this is like basic information, I'm excuse me, and I'm missing it, my fault. It looks like it is. Let's see, 417. Yeah, so I guess this is it. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to share this. See if we get some people to the live stream, answer some questions. But basically, I'm just going to start cooking up. That's pretty much it. It's not anything complicated. Chrome's it's a little slow. It's storming over here in New York, so see if we get some people to the stream main. And also, I'm probably gonna make some mistakes. It's probably gonna be some stuff in here where it's like, what are you doing? So it's all good, right? So let's see here. I just want to get that window out the way. Okay. Let's see. Oh. There we go. All right. So we're in the live chat, not the top chat. So if you're in here, cool. If not, excuse me, catch the replay, and it's all good. But yeah, so that's pretty much it, man. I'm gonna kill some of these. I'm gonna pin this one, and I'm just gonna kill some of these these tabs and get right into it. Okay. See, I don't need that anymore. I don't need that anymore, but I do need FL Studio. Okay. So yeah, let me give me a second here, guys. I'm gonna pull this over just a bit. All right. So first things first, man. What I want to do is I want to have this off to the side. Can I get any? No. Okay. Cool. No worries. Okay. No worries. No worries. Okay. All right. So in regards to making a beat making video, man, so I'm just gonna start cooking up, explain my process, explain some of them six I may or may not be making, and then at the end of it, talk about something that's kind of interesting, at least something that I think is interesting. But anyway, this is my setup for R&B. I have different templates that I use. Excuse me. So I have a boom bap template, have an R&B template, and trap template. I try to keep it minimum. When I was working on the record for Kiara Hughes, which is more of a pop record, I use just a regular basic blank template from there. But if I'm just cooking up something like to submit or whatever, then I'll pick one of these, because these are like my wheelhouse: boom bap, R&B, and trap. But today we're gonna do R&B, and actually I want to kind of bring up the tempo, because 6 is a little late, so let's actually bring that up to 120. Let me see. I want to make sure y'all can hear me. All right, cool. All right, so I just want to make sure you guys. All right, good. All right, we're good. All right, so excuse me. All right, so whenever I'm doing R&B, I like to start off with the chords first. It's just easier to do. And my process for making chords is just, I kind of take from the like the mainstream, like 135, and just take it from there. It's something that Internet Money and everyone has also touched base on. Oh, also one thing I want to make sure this is documented for me saying this. Some of the stuff, if you're a producer and you follow MG the Future, you're going to notice some similarities in regards to his workflow and mine. Basically, because I just, like everyone else that's part of that tribe, I picked it up, integrated to my own. But I've made it into my own. If you don't know who I'm talking about, all good. Check him out. He's dope. Anyway, so let's actually start with this piano roll. So I have this plugin here called Octane. It's a plugin that a lot of people don't know about. It was actually made from developers in the Bay Area, and how I actually found out, what I found out about it on Instagram, but what made me pull the trigger was a producer back home in Houston named Hollywood Floss did a tutorial for it. He was doing a review, and I said, well, if he's using it, it's got to be dope. So it's a plugin that I use pretty much. I'm going to be using all 2021. I have this philosophy where every year I buy a new plugin, and I only stick with that one VST. Sorry, I buy one new VST a year, and I only stick with that one. I do that purposely because it's going to force me to, one, create my own sounds, which I've kind of started doing here. But also what it's going to do is going to force me into sound design, and also it kind of gives me a signature sound, and it's a go-to. I can learn it. It's easier for my workflow because I don't have to overthink like, oh, where's this knob? I know exactly where it is. So we're here. We're just going to make this beat here and just get right into it. So, and what I want to make now is just more of like a kind of a cool groove, R&B trap. I'm gonna make something with a little thump in it. Yeah, that's pretty much it, man. So let's get right into it. All right. I'm gonna do B minor. So one thing that's cool about FL is that whatever your root note is, or whatever key that whatever scale you're using, it will show you exactly. And that's when I gotta send them some one of the producers we work with. I gotta send them some like ASCAP information. So I get it. I get it to you if you're watching. But if you see that's dark gray, it's showing you where your note is. So we want to do 1-3-5. So since we're doing R&B, what I want to do, actually, give me a second here. There we go. All right, cool. I'm gonna do 1-3-5. So I'm gonna do 1 here. So with 1-3-5, basically what I'm saying is within the scale, we're gonna start our chord on the 1, which would be B. The C would be the D flat or C sharp would be the 2. The D would be the 3. 4 would be E. 5 would be either G flat or F sharp. So that's what we want to do. 5. And now so now I have like my foundation for my chords. I like them kind of jagged like that. It gives a more realistic feel. And what I want to do is I want to do minor ninths into 7s. I'm not sure exactly what I mean. So here I have my 9 chord. I don't know why it's doing that now. Yep, there we go. Right, so we have our 9th here. Here I'm gonna have my 9th, but usually when I play, if I play chords that are sort of close together, sometimes my pinky is off. So it's just something that I did one time, and I was like, oh, so whenever I'm making chords, I'm gonna do the same thing. So if I can't play the entire 9th on here and my finger slips, I just go down to a 7. It's kind of like my signature sound. So let's make sure everything is in scale here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then here we want to get rid of this one, and this is going to be 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Cool. So let's hear it. All right. So we're gonna cut this off. Oop. And cut this off here. And I'll strum it here in a second, but what I want to do is alright, so already here in my head, I want to do another one. Another. Dun, 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 dun. So I have the steps in my head, so let's hear it again. Alright, cool. let's actually change the subs here. Let's do 4 beaten. All right, cool. So now I'm going to highlight this. We're going to strum it to give it a more realistic feel, and you can do all kind of crazy things here. So we're just going to strum it just a little bit. It's going to give it a more realistic feel. You see it. Oh, let's just cut that last one off. There we go. Bam. Okay, let's do this. That last one I'm not really feeling, so let's see what that sounds like. So that'll work. So now we have our basic keys. So I'm going to change that to keys. Shout out to keys. Then we're going to clone that. And now what I want now is I don't know why it does that. Now what I want is pads. So I have this pads here I like to use. I'm going to use Arctic because I want to give it a more of a more of a presence. Alright, so I'm going to get rid of this for the pads. Sound like that. Alright, so just be pads. So whenever you're working on the track with a producer, you want to kind of feel like the spectrum, and I'll show exactly what that means. So if I pull up the EQ for the master, you want to fill as much of this space as possible, but you don't want to overdo it, right? So here I can see we're focusing on here. I don't have anything for the bass, the subs, or whatever. The treble, right? So there's probably going to be space for my hi-hats. But you can see the heat map. We're focusing on this. So I've done it so many times I don't have to go through it again, but actually, is it too loud for y'all? I do want to make sure. I'm just turn this down just a little bit. Alright. But what I was saying was, based on this heat map, I can turn this down. Alright, cool. But this heat map is telling me like, okay, this is where the energy is within the frequency. So I can already tell I can add some more stuff here, which is probably going to be, if I want to add like a sharper kick, and probably add here. So I have a lot of room to work with, right? So so I have my pads. So the next thing I usually work on is going to be the bass, right? So I have this classic plugin called SAR. I'm pretty sure I just butchered the name, but it's dope for bass. I only use it for bass, honestly. Let's see, what's my other preset? So I'm going to use the West Coast bass. It's a preset that I came up with. I think when I first got FL. Yeah, because I was doing those Nipsey Hussle remixes. But anyway, so here what you're looking at are called ghost notes. So to make this simple, the easiest way to draw a bass is just use the bass notes of the chords. So that's what we're gonna do. You know, it'd be easier if I change it from 1/4. I mean 1/6 to 1/4 beat. That'd make life easier, wouldn't it? There we go. So I can do that. Let's see if we can get this down. See, I don't know why it does that. All right, so it's I like it, but it sounds a little too much distortion there. So let's see. See, I like this one, but I think we need to come off the sub. So let's see. There we go. Cause we want that glide, like, so I want that. So peep this. So here's a little trick. You can do while you're there. So it sounds, I mean, the sound is cool and everything else, but we want to give it a bit more life. So I can already tell what I want. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna cut these two parts. And what I want to do is I want one part to go here, or here rather, and here. The reason why I want this is I want the bass to go within the minor note of the chord. So a little trick here, within the chords, if the melody sounds like it's a bit dark, it's going to be in this range here. But if it sounds major, it's going to sound here. So it's just something to think about. So if you want it to sound a bit happy, you kind of want to be in that range here. But if whatever lyrics you wrote, if it sounds a bit dark, you want it to be, you feel what I'm saying? You want it to be there. But let's hear it. So I'm actually going to reverse that. All right, cool. See that metronome off. My bad, y'all. All right, so we got our bass line. Easy peasy. We ain't gotta do nothing too crazy. So we have that, right? So we have it. So at this point, usually if I'm working with an artist, we'll stop right here and say, hey, let me know if you come up with something. So what I'm going to do is if I don't have an artist here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the drums next, and then we'll get to the top line, right? So we have that. Cool. So the drum kits I've been using lately, to keep it a buck with you, I forgot where I found these kicks. It's the no, these are drum loops. Let's see, where's my drum kits? Jazz. All right. So I don't know where I found these OVO Future R&B drum kits. I have no idea. Shout out to whatever website, whoever passed them along. I totally forgot, but I've been using these drum kits like a lot. So we're gonna use these drum kits here today. I have my regular drum kits I use here, which is fine. But since we want, it's gonna sound a bit trappy, we want to give it that sound because it doesn't make sense to mesh boom bap drums with like a trap R&B record. I mean, you could, but I don't feel like doing that much sound design right now. But anyway, so this is going to be our hat. Matter of fact, let me just start cooking up. Oh, that's right. Alright, cool. Give me a second, y'all. Let me just kind of... This is probably the one I'm looking for. Bum, bum. I'm gonna push this down. Sounds a little too bright. There we go. Okay. So we got our... So another thing as well is whenever you're cooking up, don't overdo it. Don't add all like the crazy bells and whistles and stuff, because what happens a lot of times is you'll start adding a lot of stuff and then you'll look up and you're like, so where does the vocals fit in? So you don't want to do that. So just keep it just like this. So more likely that'll be at the end of the drums. But so we have our basic stuff, right? So I could go crazy, but I'm not. What I'm going to do is I'm going to jump back over to the melodies and I'm going to work on my top line, because I have pretty much everything I need for like a basic idea. And now what I want to do is, so what do you mean? I know why it does that. Anyway, I'll email him and see what's going on. So it sounds good, but it's missing a little something, right? So we want to create some movement within the melody, right? So what I'm going to do is going to jump over here. Let's see what ARP Snowfall sounds like. And I'm probably going to put that up a different octave because we've kind of done everything we can with this octave, but let's see. So I'm going to change to ARP. All right. So right there, you can definitely hear it. It's like doing a little too much within this range. So we're going to take this, we're going to bump it up an octave. Alright, so I'm gonna invert this chord. I just want to see what it sounds like. Alright, cool. So it sounds good, so I'm gonna turn it down, but I'm also going to I want it to have movement, but also kind of want it to be airy. So I've sent this to our mixer here. I'm gonna change this to ARP, and I'm gonna use a plugin that's now famous. I thought I was the only one that got it, not really, but drip plugin by Cal Beats. It's gonna give it more feeling. Right, something subtle. We don't want it to like overpower and everything else. We just want it I just want it to be there. But another thing I'm gonna do as well, I want it to sound sort of like a record. So what we're gonna do is we're going to put a little vinyl effect on it. All right, so I leave the dust sound on there a little bit. I just turn it down. I don't want to overpower, but all right, so we got our basic stuff, right? But we still need a excuse me, still need a top line. So since I changed that thing just a little funny, I'm gonna bounce over to yeah, we'll use SOAR right now. I don't feel like using Serum right now because that's literally all I used last year. So it's one of those things where I'm kind of like over the plugin, but we're actually going to work on this within the piano roll. So again, we have our range. Now, the chorus I have as coming up in my head is a little bit of a Chris Brown, so let me just hum it in my head because I'm not going to embarrass myself. Alright, cool. So first things first, I need to find a sound. So I'm going to go to Plux. And you don't have to use like the standard like presets for whatever you want. You can get very experimental, but just want to show you guys like my process here. So I'm going to go over to, well, I kind of already have keys, so let's try maybe some nah. All right, let's see. Let's go through these presets and see if we find something. something with that. So instead of playing it by ear and then ruining your experience here, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna zoom in a little bit, and we're gonna use that minor note that I was describing earlier. So let's turn this down. Hold on, y'all. Give me 1 second. Let me stop the stream. Hold on. Give me a second. Can I? No, I cannot. Hold on, y'all. All right, we back. All right. So let me get back to it. Kind of like, I like the, let's find a different sound. Well, that's not Cash Money. Let's do this. I'm probably going to want to put an effect on one of these. I just don't know which ones work. Yeah, it's more chords. Yeah, chords. I guess I could choose synthesizer. for like this is more for like leads. Oh, here's our plucks. Or we could go with guitar. Let's see if I have my Apple guitar plugin. Let's see, do I even have that set up? Yep. Let's get right to it. See, man. Oh, because it's out of range. Really? Fine. All right. You know what? See what I have in contact. All right. String would be dope. Nah, because that's going to be more of a loop. Let's see what else we have. And I'm probably going to put some strings behind it too. But I just want to find some strings. Not violin just yet. I thought I had regular guitar. There we go, but we need to turn this down. All right, so we're good. Like, this is where we'll stop. We'll build on top of it. I'll probably get a screenplay play on it, but screw it. Let's just keep going. I probably need to save this right while I'm over here on a live stream. Let's see what we want to call it. Producers, if you're watching, make sure you put your name and the title of the track. If you want to prevent that whole thing of, someone use your track not knowing who it is, put your name in the file. Also, I learned this from Drummer Boy. Put the BPM and the key of the track in here as well in the file, because it's easy for everyone, like, they don't have to call you 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, as we've all experienced. But yeah. All right, so we have that. I think the last thing I'm gonna do is add a Vox. If arcade feels like working today, I'm gonna add that. I'm gonna arrange it, and then that's it. I'll do the mixing and stuff later. But yeah, so this is called arcade. Some of you guys will find out. You probably hear some sounds in here you've heard before on major records, but it's just like a pool of sounds you can use. I've used that already.
Oh, not enough. So far, thinking. Oh, yeah. Nah. Ooh, no, now. can't try it. Ooh,
Ooh, might be able to use this. So I'm gonna change the key to B minor.
I'm
turn this down a little bit because it's a little loud. Alright, so we're good. So I already know what I'm going to do. I'm going to throw that to the mixer. I'm going to put an effect on it to make it sound like it's coming through a telephone. And then I'm probably going to put some strings behind it. And we're pretty much done here. That's it. Let's see. See if I need to quantize. I doubt it, but let's see. Yeah, that last one did come in a little late, didn't it? So we're good there. So I'm going to, again, throw this into the mixer. Right, bam. Channel routing, onto this track, box there. I'll just do 3 EQ. And then we'll throw into Valhalla. So this is a reverb. I think I was just doing research one time, to find like a new reverb, and I found it and I just fell in love with it. It's super dope. For artists, if you're looking for something that's very like, if you're looking for a reverb you can hold on to at least for the next 3 to 4 years, invest in Valhalla. Super massive. I think I even got it for free. I could be lying, but I think I got it for free. But something to check out. Alright, so we want to bring it. I like that, but we need to pull that down. So I'm going to pull out the mix. Let's see. It's not the feedback, is it? And I just want something that's kind of there, so in case like someone does want to rap on it, it just kind of like underneath the vocals. All right, now for this next one, I will need Octane because they have some strings that I use all the time. I've actually been using these strings. I used to use them as one shots in Logic Pro 9. This is back in 2014-15. So everyone emulates somebody somewhere. For me, that person, it was three people. Ski Beats, Alex the Kid, and Cardiac. And when I downloaded this plugin, you should have saw the look on my face when I saw that they have Cardiac strings right here. So when I saw it, I was like, I gotta use them. So, we're gonna change this to strings. Excuse me. Yeah, we know it's raining, so flood. We know. All right, and yeah, man. So I'm still gonna work within the confines of our chords. Now, I know our basic chords are right here, right? Excuse me, our basic chords are right here. Sorry, I had a really spicy sandwich, so that's why. So we just wanna. So we're gonna take. So what I'm gonna do is I want to take one chord here, and that major. I want it to sound a bit major, right? So I'm gonna do the bass here, skip one, right? Same here, skip, Same here. All right. So it's very like jarring. So let's see if we can find where to put these. Nah. We don't want it there because it sounds like it's taking up too much. So let's put it right here. And that's it. We're done. What I like to do with my strings sometimes is I like them to sound kind of not old, but you know what I'm getting at. Make it sound like it's a sample, so that way interpolation. It sounds like it's a sample. It's not, so publisher won't freak out. But anyway, so I'm gonna go to more plugins, vinyl, and then we're gonna start arranging. Now, generally, as I'm talking, I would be done with this already, but it's gonna explain everything. It's just something subtle. It's just not a trick, but just part of my signature sound. Anyway, so we have that. So now let's look at our EQ and see how we're taking up the wide spectrum. Now, if you take a look here, I'm gonna turn the master down so you guys can hear me. So if you look right here, you see how you kind of have some space? So if it's a male singer or female singer, that could probably fit. Now, it's probably gonna be a little hard for a female singer, so we'll probably have to do some EQing, which is totally fine. But rapper, low mids, you're right good. So if I were to send this like off to Win or even send it to Jay Daniel, there's enough space for them to do their thing. Even Trigger Don wanted to hop on this. Trigger Don fits right here. This line right here is Trigger Don. And I just remember because I've mixed the vocals so much, he fits right here. But anyway, yeah. All right, cool. All right, so let's get out of here. All right, let's get out of here. Where's our range window? Wow. Okay. Split my channel. Split by channel. Cool. Let's get rid of that. Bam. Let it think. Cool. I like to bring my bass at the bottom. I think I've always done this in Logic Pro, but yeah. So anyway, so I know that this guitar is gonna be my top line, so it's gonna be very here. This is probably gonna come in with the chorus, but I know this Vox is gonna come in with the pre-chorus. I already know. So to arrange it quick, I just do no, right. So I already know this is. So I'll play it and start arranging, but you guys will hear it. Nope, we definitely want that. So we went to every other. Remember what we said about the snare? We want it to feel like it's a roll. Alright, so let's hear that arrangement again. So this is our chorus, our intro. Alright, so everything sounds good, but we all know it's missing one thing. It's missing a riser. So let's see if I can pull something from Splice, and then that's it. I'm gonna copy and paste, and that's it. And then I'll mix later. It's probably gonna be the all the projects I've gone. It's probably gonna be one of the few. Well, we'll see. To use that one. I already know exactly how to use it. Alright, cool. If I had to explain what Splice is to you guys, it's all good. Alright. Let's change down the beats. Let's do 1/4. I'm gonna turn this down too, because I know it's kind of loud. Alright, cool. And that's it. So I have my stuff. Bam. Bam. I don't feel like making a bridge because I feel like a rapper could probably jump on this. So what I'm going to do is we're going to make this the outro. Repeat it. Bam. How much? So it's 2 minutes and 54. So right at radio. And that's it, man. That's how I make beats. So check this out. That's it, man. So I'll mix it later. Cause I like mixing with fresh ears, but that's pretty much it, bro. That is pretty much it. See if we got anybody in chat. If not, it's all good. And I'll need to get on a schedule. We're gonna keep doing this, but yeah, man. What I was thinking. Let's hop over. See anybody in the chat? No. It's all good. Oh yeah, one person. That's cool. But yeah, that's pretty much it, man. I'm gonna go ahead and end it here. Like, subscribe, let me know. I'm gonna post a little bit of this content on Instagram for you guys that were requesting to see my process. But pretty much it, man. Y'all be easy. Deuce.